Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are Verstappen and Zhu. And we're in front of Hauger, Piastri and Tsunoda. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 53.8. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves once again of our top three. Verstappen, Zhou and Charles Leclerc. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Zhou Guanyu completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Daniel, Bottas, Hauger, Oscar Piastri, Tsunoda, Liam Lawson, Drugovich, Doohan, Sargent, Perez, Norris, Russell, Albon, Ocon, Stroll, Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. Oscar Piastri will be very happy with that result as he extends his championship lead. Well, that wraps up the sprint. All that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Welcome then as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high-quality racing as well. Simply put it, there's no place quite like it. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Zhou Guanyu completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hauger, Daniel, Bottas, Oscar Piastri, Doohan, Tsunoda, Drugovich, Perez, Liam Lawson, Sargent, Russell, Albon, Norris, Stroll, Ocon, Ricciardo, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, how was that pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. OK, DRS is now available. Right, show some respect for your teammate. There's little satisfaction to be had in overtaking like that. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Box, we're coming in this lap. Dennis is in the pits now. Okay, let's go now. Come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. Our gap behind is 1.6 seconds. Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. We might see some rain, ETA about 15 minutes. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Gap to your teammate behind is 7.8 seconds. Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time and there are so far no plans for a safety car. Lost the position, try to keep focus. Well done, mate, well done. That's a great finish. You've really stepped up and achieved what we asked you to do today, so good job.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Well, Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today, but what set them apart from the rest?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Our championship leader is still sat at the top of the standings, but their rivals have made up some solid ground today. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for the weekend has failed. Any redevelopments will need to be ordered from the R&D screen.